Hello, and welcome back to another YouTube and Facebook Live. I'm so excited to be here. September, Sexual Health Month, my birthday month is great. Yes. And I'm so excited to have Tosh here. So let's give people a little bit of time, a few minutes just to get on before I go in and introduce you completely. But just while we're waiting for people to come on, yes, it's my birthday month. So it's September Virgo season, Libra season as well. Um Beyonce's birthday, Oshun's birthday. That's in September. So
What
hello,
have you
hello,
been doing to
hello.
celebrate?
I'm sorry, how did I celebrate?
What have you been doing?
Oh, I did absolutely nothing. That was great. I took a week off and just, chilled by myself doing absolutely nothing. And that I did a staycation and it was so neat. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, all right. So, as people are coming on, say hello. Let us know you're here. And I'm excited to have Tosh here. She is a coach and retreat leader. And I've actually been blessed to participate in one of her retreats. You led with Regine in Bali. You and Regine got me to Bali. I would have never been had it not been for your retreat.
Loved it. It was awesome.
Yes, it was so awesome. It was so awesome. And it was nice actually physically meeting you in DC in Maryland. And we
Yeah.
went out to lunch, had a great talk, and it was nice. So I'm so excited to have you here. And I know that you work with women as well. I'm doing coaching, helping women be successful. You do so many different things, honestly. You was a facilitator in one of my retreats at the beginning of this quarantine, the new moon retreat.
Which is
That
so
I did.
crazy. It was
So
just
great.
a few months ago.
Yes. Yes. And that was good. You helped people get the finances in order and think about those things. It was some great things that we never thought about. But today, we really want to talk about permission for pleasure. So before we go into that, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everyone about you, who you are, who is this amazing Tosh Patterson that I love.
I love you too, and I appreciate you inviting me to be here and to share. And you've been doing an amazing job of introducing me. But I live in the Maryland, DC area, and I've been doing retreats and coaching and really focusing, helping women figure out how to simplify, how to work less, which is something that so many people are overworking in prior to quarantine, prior to COVID. And so this is forcing people to figure out, how do you not work incessantly? But that's one of the things I talk about a lot. And then simplification, how to work less, and then how to really live more, and digging into what does live more mean for you, because for Renee it may be one set of things, and for Tosh it's another set of things, and we get so mesmerized by social media feeds and what other people are doing, and we measure ourselves to that, but that may not be the life for us. So I really want to help women be able to articulate what does live more and happiness mean for you at this stage of your life, because that's another piece. We go through different stages. So the 25-year-old person doesn't have the same journey as the 35-year-old person, or someone who's just grieving a loss does not have the same journey as someone else. So I think it's really important to spend some time refocusing on what's important to you, and how do you define what's important. So that's what I do in my coaching practice. And then when I'm leading retreats, we focus on vision board, and we do some of these deeper questions. And one of the things you beautifully contributed as a facilitator at the Bali retreat is really helping women connect to their inner goddess, which is part of where the conversation today is coming from, about giving yourself permission to have pleasure no matter what, like no matter what's going on in your life. And we're going to jump into all of that today. But there's so many.
I can't wait.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how did you, before we jump into all of that, like what made you decide to start working with this? Like, how did you decide, okay, I want to help women. I want to help, women with their sexuality or femininity, with their finances, with all different aspects of their lives. So,
I mean, your own pain is the trail that opens up the path for you to have the experience, gain the knowledge, and then share it with other people. And so for me, I've had these really interesting experiences that I learned a lot from in the valley moments. I should write a book called In the Valley, because, when you're in those really hard times and it's painful and you're trying to figure out either how to get out of that bad relationship or how to get out of debt or how to lose some weight, like when you're in those moments and you don't know how you're going to get out, and then you get to the other side, there's so many lessons and things to share. So some people become coaches and retreat leaders like myself, and other people just share with a sister friend. And that's good too, because we really should be more honest about the struggles and trials and tribulations that we actually overcome and share that with people, but we have so much shame. So my desire to share my valley moments, I don't know where that comes from. I just want to help people not be in the valley as long, I guess. Because
but that's important that you say that, because like I work with so many people, women, men. I work mostly with women, but so many people who are going through so many difficult moments, and they're just like, why am I going through this? And it's okay, like, to be in that moment and say why and question. But one of the things that I also bring up a lot of times, maybe, just maybe, you're learning something so that you could possibly give back and help someone else with. We don't know. And I know that if I didn't go through my valley moments, I really like that. You have to write that book. If I didn't go through my valley moments, because I had a lot of valley moments in terms of with my sexuality, different things that I've been through. And that's what led me here to actually start working with women and their sexuality, and it's just like we go through so many things and we suffer in silence. Right. We suffer without, having someone to talk to, and then, then we don't give ourselves permission to have pleasure going into that topic, right?
Or just feeling ashamed to admit that I gained, and I'm using examples that are true in my life. I gained 80 pounds from stress eating. I was in debt because I wasn't managing my money. Like these are some big things that many people experience, but they have so much shame related to it. And if they do share it with someone, they may not share the full truth of it or varied parts of it. And so really, I want to help people just own whatever your experience is, and how can you get healthy coping mechanisms so you can move forward and actually live a life that you love, which I know sounds so cliche, but I feel like one of the things I've been reflecting on as a result of quarantine and all the craziness that's happening right now is, what is the point of life? And what do I want to do for the next 40 years? What do I want to experience? Who do I want to be? And it like thinking about it makes me emotional because it's such a big question, but it's so important. As we're talking in this moment, the Breonna Taylor stuff just came out. We're dealing with all of these deaths that have happened at a national level, like Elijah Cummings and, Mr. Wakanda Forever. And we have all of the political BS, and we have social unrest. And it's so much. And it's really bringing me to the place of like, what is the purpose of all of this? And who do I want to be? And what do I want to experience? And so I think these are the important questions that when you're so busy, you don't make time for.
Right. And that's so important, and I think that is so important right now. Like you mentioned all of these things happening right now. It's just, it literally feels like one thing after the other. And it's like 2020, go away. Like what is happening in 2020?
Yes.
What is going on? And so, I feel like This is a time that we honestly have to do that work to stay grounded, to do the work on ourselves so we just don't break,
Right.
because it's easily we can break. And I know I had a course a couple months ago that I was doing. And one of the ladies, there was a lady in my Instagram page who was interested in doing it. And then she didn't end up doing it. And, I sent her a message. I was like, what happened? I know you were so interested. And she had actually said, I don't feel right working on my sexuality with everything that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And so this is why this topic is so important because, when I said to her, our sexuality is our vital life force energy. Our sexuality is connected to everything.
Right.
And so if you're denying yourself that pleasure, if you're denying yourself that work to work on your sexuality and yourself, then how are you going to be able to deal with all of this stress, all of this tension, all of the trauma that's happening to us right now?
Yeah. Mental brutality.
Yeah.
That's what it all feels like. It's so abusive and we're immersed in it in a way that I've never experienced in my adult life. And it takes something to continue to nurture your mind, body, and spirit. And when I think about sexuality and sensuality, I think about it in the realm of not porn star hub, which I think is how people sometimes think about sex, but I think about it from mind, body, spirit. And it's so much bigger energetically than just the physical acts that we kind of compartmentalize our bodies into, like, it's just vaginas and penises and boobs and that's it. But there's so much healing that can happen in that space if that's how you regard it, if that's how you treat it. That's a mental shift for people to come to as well regarding pleasure and giving yourself permission for pleasure. It's not just an empty act. It's only empty if that's how you approach it.
So true. So true. Let me say hello to those who are commenting. Hello, Cynthia. Cynthia Cruz says, yes, we have different needs at different ages. Hello, Brenda. Yes, self-discovery is a journey. I am on one with you. Yes, we are on one together. So as you're coming on, comment, say hello. Let us know, have you had struggles? Have you had difficulty with giving yourself permission to feel pleasure? What has been your struggle? What has been going on in your life that's made it difficult for you to say, I should not work on myself? I have other things going on. There's too much going on. It's selfish of me to work on myself. It's selfish of me to have pleasure. And as I'm saying that, especially as women, but people, we can be conditioned. We have been conditioned to think if we're focusing on ourselves, we're selfish. We always have to do for someone else.
Right. And there's, as you're saying that, Renee, it makes me think of, we've been conditioned to give and put out. But there is a law of reciprocity. Like, you have to give and receive. It can't just be a one-way channel. So if you're constantly giving and putting out, but not restoring yourself, that's out of balance. So that's another thing for people to start to think about, like, am I in balance with the law of give and receive?
Yes. I like that balance. And I think that helps people to be able to reconcile not feeling selfish, because there is a law of give and balance. We have to be, and so we get off balance if we're just giving. At the same time, we're off balance if we're just receiving. Right. So it does. It's that also that kind of that yin and yang. I have that yin and yang.
Yeah.
You got to give and receive. It's that, that whole kind of being in balance and equilibrium. So that's so important.
And it applies to so many areas of life too. When you think about relationships, when you even think about money, some people in this time may be really holding on because they're like, oh, scarcity. But you get money and you give money, right? Mm-hmm. You give love, you receive love. You give a hug, you get a hug. It should not just constantly be this one way. So, think about this give and receive law. Really, it's a universal law. as what does this look like in different areas of my life?
Exactly. Yes. So people that's on, comment. Have you noticed a difference in terms of in your life with the giving and receiving? What have you done to put that in balance? If you've noticed anything, we really want to hear from you. Love to hear what's going on in your lives. So comment. And so what's one of the things that you have done, or maybe even said to yourself, Tosh, to help give yourself that permission for pleasure? Like, what is it? What's something that's worked for you to help you? Like with all this that's going on, what has helped you?
Well, I really see pleasure as a practice, just like you have a yoga practice, you have a meditation practice. I think you can have a pleasure practice, and pleasure can be in the realm of sexual and sensual. I don't think it's just sexual. I think there's a continuum, and you have to plug into where it makes sense for you and what feels good for you. So I actually have some examples to share. You don't know that I have these, but they're right here. So
Oh,
one of
awesome.
the ways to check in and kind of tune in with sensuality is using Yoni Eggs.
Ooh,
This is one of
yeah.
the Yoni Eggs, which I know you have talked about and share about. But this
What
is,
kind is that one?
you know what? I think you asked me that last time. And I always forget what it's called. I don't know what
That's
this
not a
one
common
is.
one that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, I don't know what this one is. I can't remember. But it was my
Okay.
first Yoni egg. And when I first learned about Yoni eggs, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's a way that I am able to stay connected to myself and my body and my pleasure. And it's for me. And it's not like it's this exhaustive thing to do. It's a really simple practice to keep me grounded. And really, if you have or haven't used the Yoni egg, sometimes you can feel the egg moving in your yoni. And when it drops out, you're like, it may not be in your body, like you're somewhere else. You know how your
Mhm.
mind wanders and you're
Yes.
doing something else, and then all of a sudden the egg falls out, and then you're really instantly back to your body. Like, oh,
Yes.
I forgot that was in there. Oh, let me
Right.
let me reconnect with myself. How do I feel? What do I need to do? It's really reconnecting to our bodies. And so I think that particular practice is something that I am I do it in waves. Actually, it's not something that I do every day, but I may have a season where I really need to nurture myself and restore and rebalance myself, and so I may do it consistently for 30 days or 90 days. But I do it based on what's going on for me and what I need to work on.
Nice, nice, nice. Awesome. And that's important. I like that you said that, because sometimes people feel like they need to do it. This is a practice and I need to do it every day for the rest of my life. Or, I'm doing it, I'm not consistent. And I think that it's good to connect to your body, tap into your body and feel and say, okay, right now maybe I just need to do it for 10 days.
Right.
Or next time it might be 30 days. So whatever have you, but honoring your body, honoring yourself, and knowing that this is your routine, this is what you need when you need it, that it's something that you can do, that it's a tool that's there, you know.
Right.
Um, so like similar, I've been exhausted. Like I've been exhausted. I had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things, emotional, like news that I've heard,
Yeah.
just, personal things from some different people that's just um, going through some difficulties, with their health, and just working so much. I was just like, and hearing the news, Breonna Taylor, everything. Like I literally was to the point where I was just angry. I was angry and I had so much. And I had to breathe, and I got on my Yoni steam,
That's a good one.
it was a good one. And so I put on some nice calming music. I put some rose petals, some calendula, um, chamomile and lavender. And I put that nice little blend and I just sat on it and it felt so good. And I just closed my eyes and that was pleasure, and
Yeah.
I like that you said, we think when we hear pleasure, we automatically just think about sex, right? Or that sexuality. But pleasure could be just from relaxing, it could be from reading a nice book, it could be from eating some good food. Oh, I had some pleasure today with eating. We had an Arabic night. I made some falafel from scratch. I made some hummus.
Ooh,
We made some bread from scratch. It was
that
so
sounds
good.
wonderful.
Oh, and the little onions, the crispy fried onions. Oh
Oh,
my God. I was eating and I swear it was like foodgasm. So
yes.
yes, there are other ways to have pleasure as well.
I mean, I have a whole list of things that I can, I'll continue to share throughout this conversation. But, I think it's important to emphasize that if you could do something once a day for 15 minutes for yourself that brings you pleasure, it is so worth it. But we often kind of hold pleasure captive and we say, I don't deserve pleasure until I do X. It's almost like I get a treat once I do all the chores or once I do all the things. And really, when you want to cultivate your life such that you're nourishing and nurturing yourself on a regular basis. And so that's what pleasure is. Pleasure is just kind of this lubricant that should be in your life. It shouldn't be withheld. It shouldn't be just for a treat. It should be something that you're looking at and saying, okay, well, what would bring me pleasure today? Some days it might be sex. Some days it might be a great meal in silence. Some days it might be a book or a walk in nature or an hour-long bath. And, really earmarking the time is what I want to say of, okay, how can I restore and nourish and nurture myself with something that brings me pleasure? And I challenge people to look at how could you do it for 15 minutes a day. For some people, that's not realistic. So maybe it's once a week. So for me, when I was crazy busy working more than 60 hours a week, I didn't start with 15 minutes a day. It wasn't realistic. But what I could do was take a hour-long bath once a week. And so it was a very luxurious bath with aromatherapy bath salts and essential oils and some rose petals and music in the bathroom and some candles. And I told my husband, Sunday morning, brother, don't wake me up. Don't mess with me. One, I'm sleeping in. And two, I'm taking a bath before I even come downstairs to do anything. And so those are the boundaries that I had to put in place to make sure that I had a weekly experience of pleasure for myself. And so I think that's the invitation that we're calling people to is, what does pleasure look like for you? Is it a daily experience for 15 minutes? Or is that too much with the variables of your life and you need to aim on doing something once a week? But to be intentional about thinking about pleasure as a practice, as something that I'm going to love on myself. And I'm going to do this on a regular basis because I feel like that sensual sexual pleasure keeps you connected to the mind, body, spirit. And that's what we have to maintain because it's crazy in this world right now. Like you have to actively maintain it. It's not just going to like pop off instantaneously without you doing something. Like you got to work for this.
That is so true. So we're gonna ask people that's in your question that you said. So write in the chat, what can you do 15 minutes a day or one time a week for some pleasure, for your pleasure? What can you do? Write it in the chats. I would love to see. And Cynthia said exactly. Alex said hello, Alexander Cheney. One of the things that I do, I try to make it a point to go to the beach. I'm fortunate that I live like 2 blocks from the beach, so I do go and I walk to the beach, and then I sit out. Even if I don't go in the water, even if I can't, be there for too long, even if it's just 10, 15 minutes, I go and I'm at the beach and I'm sitting and I'm enjoying. We have some parks near here, so sometimes I go to the park. And one of the things I love being in nature. And so even when I used to work in a state, my lunch break, one of the things it sucked because I had a 30-minute lunch break. That's it.
Oh,
But one of the things that I would do is I would make a packed lunch, like something that I could eat easily. I didn't have to heat up, picnic kind of style, kind of picnic type of food. And I would go to a park because where I worked, there was a park not too far away.
mm,
And I would literally sit at the park and eat my lunch and then take a quick, like, 10-minute nap and then go back to work. And that really made a difference, just being out of the office, and not an office, because I was working at a crisis center, psychotherapy crisis center. So it was so stressful because I was seeing, people were coming in with like severe problems, suicidal or drugs or schizophrenic, like so many things. And I just really needed to find my way to get grounded and center myself. And that was one of the things that really helped me, give me some pleasure.
yeah, yeah.
So Brenda says a bubble bath sounds like a great idea. Yeah, that was a great idea. I like when Tosh said that. One of the things that I thought about when she said that is I don't have a bathtub. And so many of the apartments here and houses in Brazil, they don't have bathtubs, just the showers. And so one of the things I had to improvise when I wanted to take a bath is like actually put a bucket of water, warm water with some rose petals in it. And I would shower like normal, just kind of dump some of that water on me and just kind of visualize, imagine that the rose petals and the essential oil that's in it was just calming me, cleansing me, and healing me. And that's something nice. So I might have to do that again. I haven't done that in a long time. So let's see what else people said. Cynthia said, I love the water. So during the summer, I stay outside for hours in or by the pool. Cool. Cynthia, if I lived by the beach, I would be there all the time. Brenda, Fridays are dedicated to me. It's all things Brenda Day. Nice, 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 nice. That's
And,
important.
and for people who might be looking for even more, like we're suggesting some different ways that you can have experience pleasure. You could also wear some waist beads. So these are beads that I made in a little workshop, and they have little African shells on them and stuff, really cute. And then this is another pair. Oh wait, Yeah, this is another pair that I have. So just, again, connecting me to my body and my sensuality and sexuality. And these are very simple things that don't take a lot of time, and it's not outwardly for everyone else. It's really just for me to connect to me, for me to love me. And, one of the things I was thinking about in preparation for this conversation, Renee, is just that, like as women, we are so critical of our bodies. Like something, my boobs are too little, my stomach is too big. Like there's some area of your body that you actively dislike. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, we obsess over one part of our body. And so I was dating someone, and he went to touch my stomach, and I'm a big girl. And I was like, ooh, you can't touch my stomach. Like, don't do that. And he said, why not? And I'm like, because, it's not right. It's too big. And he's like, that part of you deserves love too. And I was like, I never, mind blown. That's all I can say is mind blown. It was so beautiful. And then fast forward a couple months later, and I went to a class around femininity and womanhood, and they were teaching a similar thing around, that area of your body that you just hate, and you talk so negatively about it, like I have fat ankles or a big stomach or whatever the thing is. Let's start to shift that and love that part of your body, because your body is in partnership with you. Your body is in service of you. And so it's important to love and nurture that part of your body. So for me, it was starting to hold my big stomach and say, thank you for serving me. I love and appreciate you. So if you're listening and you have struggled with disliking one part of your body, one of the things you can do to really tap back into the mind, body, spirit connection is to reconnect and love on that part of your body that you have disowned.
Yeah.
Your body is in service of you and wants to be in partnership with you, but you have to make the mental leap from the place of I'm not enough to yes, thank you, body, for being with me on the journey.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that. Did you guys hear that? Yeah. Just when you're saying that, because I think a lot of us have gone through that, right? And just, when you're telling that story, I've had that happen to me too, Um, I got a little bit of rolls right here. I don't have a flat stomach or a six pack.
Yeah.
And I have had like a partner touch me, then I got self-conscious and I'm like, oh no, I've never said not to touch me there, but I felt it. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna feel my fat. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, it probably doesn't feel good. Like, and I held that in. And so, and this was some time, and I really got to the point where I did the work and to love and accept me completely. And I actually wrote about this. I did a little article, not article, a post on Instagram, and I put a new picture up. Right? I mean, you can't see anything. Like you can't see my nipples or anything, but it was a new picture. You could see everything, and I talked about how I love me completely for everything.
Yeah.
I was 155 pounds. That was like big because I'm a short girl. Like I'm not tall. Like that's a lot, for me in terms of, what I was feeling about myself. And I was like, and I put that on there. A lot of women won't even tell how much they weigh.
Right.
And I was like, no, I'm getting to this point where I'm accepting me. I'm
Yeah.
accepting myself and I'm going to love me, so.
Yeah. And the exercise that if this is resonating with someone out there, what you can do is take some either body oil. This is from Bali, Renee.
Oh, nice.
But you could take some body oil or lotion or anything like that and massage that area of your body and just say, I love and accept you. Thank you for serving me. If there's a specific area that you have just like really been negative with, or if you just want to restore your whole self, just take 10 minutes instead of slapping the lotion on like this and just running out the door. Just take 10 minutes and say body beautiful. Body beautiful. Body beautiful. Top, like literally start at your head. Massage, body beautiful. Body beautiful. Body beautiful. Affirm yourself, body beautiful. Every area, just massage. And you have to put lotion or oil or something on every day. So why not take that 5 minutes and just affirm yourself, love on yourself, nurture yourself. Because then it's connecting you to your actual body. And then, you may have a moment where you're like, man, this body has been through some things. I've been through some things. I'm so thankful that I can stand. I'm so thankful I can walk. I'm so thankful I gave birth. I'm so thankful I survived surgery. Like this body has carried me through things and has brought me pleasure. And I'm so thankful. Right. So we're just inviting you to shift the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. So Cynthia said, you must be watching me. Kay Brooks Chap says to have isolated me time daily, invoking affirmations. Yes. So Alex might have left, but he said, so glad y'all having this awesome conversation, but I should probably bounce as to not make anyone uncomfortable. Enjoy. So that just kind of made me wonder, what does he mean by that? To not make anyone uncomfortable? Like what is that feeling that's coming up? Like what would you say to make someone uncomfortable, or what would happen to be uncomfortable? Or is it this topic, is it hitting home for you? Like, I don't know if he's still on or not, but it just makes me wonder that,
You say that, it makes me think that the conversation around permission for pleasure and self-care and all of that is really kind of reserved for women. So
maybe
I feel like men don't feel like a part of that conversation, but they should be, because, you know, as human beings, we have stress in our lives, and
Yes.
you know, we need to think about ways that we are really nurturing ourselves. If we're men or women, it doesn't matter. And I actually read a really great article the other day where these men were talking about the 5 things they wish they had done related to self-care. And so they were older men telling younger men, you know, I wish that I, as a man, had done yoga and stretching and taken better care of my teeth. And I'm forgetting one. There was 5 total, but those were the 3 that really struck me. And in the article, they were saying that they feel like self-care is just for women and they're excluded from the conversation. And so maybe, you know, that's something that could start to change because of all the mental hardships that we're dealing right now between COVID and all of these national deaths and the political campaign. You know, we all have to spend some time nurturing ourselves if we're men or women.
Yes. So true. So true.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I think that that might definitely, you know, in terms of be it. Maybe he's, you know, feeling like, you know, I'm a man. I can't deal with this. Like, yeah, I can't think about it. That's for women. But yeah, it's so true. I think, you know, men and women really need to give themselves permission to feel pleasure and to
Yeah.
have these different types of conversations, you know.
Yeah. And it's
So,
really because the permission for pleasure is really just said another way is deepening the connection that you have with yourself. That's
yeah,
what is at the base of it all. And it might look sensual, it might look sexual, but it's just opening that up as a possibility because, you know, in America specifically, we're go, 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 all business, get it done. I have no time to slow down, you know,
right.
I'm busy. And it's like that will not sustain you, especially in the world that we're living in right now. It's not a sustainable way to be. And I think as human beings, we need to have pleasure. But the one thing I was also thinking about is, where have people, men or women, experienced trauma related to sexuality and sensuality, and so they've shut it off,
Yes.
you know? And so pleasure is really just sex and that's it, but there's some healing to do related to that trauma, where you just believe that pleasure is just a sexual thing. It's not a thing that can be folded into my life.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I don't think I've shared this with you before, but I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. And
Mhm.
so having that experience, you know, has meant that for a big chunk of my adult life, I have been reconnecting to myself and my sexuality and what that means with a partner and alone, right? So, because sometimes
Mhm.
when you're in a relationship, you feel like all of your sexuality has to be connected to that person, and I don't think that's true. I think that you can have a I don't think it's true. I think you can have a self pleasure practice and be in a relationship. I don't think that self pleasure is reserved for single people. I think self pleasure is another way to begin to reconnect to your body, to know what you like, to feel yourself, to feel how it feels, to feel how your body feels, um, as you stimulate yourself, not someone else. And so, as a result of my surviving that trauma, and I was fortunate in that I was about 21 or 22 when I finally came out and told my family what happened, and they were very good response, to all of that. And I was able to approach and the person who had abused me, which is also something that people don't get to do, right? So I
Mhm.
had some really healing in that, being honest about what happened to me. But my adult life has been about, you know, restoring this, healing the trauma, doing the work, finding these different ways to tap into my sexuality and sensuality. And to answer your earlier question, I guess that's part of why I do what I do in this particular conversation around sensual and sexual pleasure is because I know people have had traumatic experiences, either in marriages and relationships where they have been pushed to do something they don't want to do, or as children being pushed to do something you don't want to do. And so, there's an impact of that, not only mentally, but physically and emotionally. And so as adults, these are healing mechanisms to overcome that trauma and release that trauma. And actually, one of the things you showed me when I took one of your classes last year, I forget what the activity is called, but when you rub your hips on them and do that whole process. And when you taught it, I was like, okay, yeah, all right, I'll try it. Nothing's gonna happen. And then literally, I was like, oh my gosh, I really felt a shift. It was really surprising to me that I felt such a shift in just a couple of days from doing that. But
nice.
But so anyway, that's another question for people to look at, is what traumas have happened to you where you have maybe shut yourself off from pleasure and you kind of think pleasure is bad, or your pleasure is limited because you were violated in some way. And it wasn't on your terms, and doing the healing work is so important.
So important. And so the thing is, on our backs there is that kidneys, right? And that's what's connected. The kidneys is connected to the emotion fear, and kidneys is directly connected to the ovaries and uterus. So whenever we're working, we're moving that energy, releasing that fear, as well as helping to release any of those blockages within the ovaries, the uterus, our sexual energy. So just focusing, sending love, massaging, doing energy. I don't know exactly what I told you all to do. I don't remember that class.
It was that. It was the fear. It was the fear on the love handles on the area back there, and massaging it, releasing fear.
Okay, cool. So many times people were like, "You taught something," and I'm like, "Well, I don't really remember what it was." But yeah, so it's that, and it works. It works. It's so funny how it really does. And I've had people say that so many times. You tell me to do something, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Or like a movement where I'm like, just shake, and then the people do it, and they notice things shift, and it's like, yeah.
Yes.
But yes. So what else? Do you have any other tips or?
Oh yes, I have some other tips, but I also have this book from Louise Hay. It's called Love Your Body.
Yes, Love Your Body. Yes. And I love Louise Hay. She has another one that I always read. You Can Heal Yourself or something like that.
Yes, You Can Heal Your Life.
You Can Heal Your Life. Yes.
It's a really good one. But this one is called I Love My Genitals. So I just want to read this one because I think it's so great.
Yes. Okay.
So I love my genitals. I rejoice in my sexuality. It is normal and natural and perfect for me. My genitals are beautiful and normal and natural. I am good enough and beautiful enough exactly as I am right here and right now. I appreciate the pleasure my body gives me. It is safe for me to enjoy my body. I choose the thoughts that allow me to love and appreciate my beautiful genitals. Nothing is wrong.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love it. Love your body. So those who are in here, women, men, whatever, type in the comments, I love my genitals. Let's affirm that right now. Type in there, I love my body. Let's affirm that as well. Let's do some affirmations right now. Type that in. And it is so.
It is. It's so important to really take the time to reconnect with ourselves and stop tearing ourselves apart, so to speak.
Yeah.
So let me just go through the list. So in summary, if you want to start a pleasure practice, here are some things that you can do to start your own pleasure practice in ways that make sense for you. So you could use a Yoni egg. You could self-pleasure as a way to explore yourself without feeling like you need to perform for a partner. You could use body lotions and say body beautiful as you put lotions on every day. You could take a bath a couple times a week, You can wear waist beads, or you can massage your breasts. And we didn't talk about this one, but one of the things I learned a long time ago was the importance of your breasts as a part of your sexuality and sensuality. And so you would take some oil and put on your hands and massage your around your nipple and areola in a circular motion. And really just an opportunity for you to connect with your physical, sexual, sensual body. It doesn't have to lead to anything. It's just you as a woman or a man reconnecting to that area of your body, and acknowledging that, kind of like the animal in us. So these are some of the ways that you can start to build a pleasure practice and pick and choose things that work for you at different stages of your life. And, really looking at this question of, are you willing to release any painful things that have happened so that you can begin to explore your pleasure? Because in order to explore the pleasure, you have to start releasing some of those painful experiences that have happened and are stuck in your body. And really, pleasure is the way that those painful things start to release out, right? So if you have a tight way that you hold your leg because something happened to you, as you explore massaging yourself, literally massaging your thigh, you can start to release that negative energy of pain that happened in the past. Yeah. So these are like very practical things that you can fold into your life and start to build a pleasure practice and make yourself a priority at least 15 minutes a day, if you can, or once a week, to really start to do some of this work that is either healing for some people, or for some, it's just maintenance. It's just a good mind, body, spirit practice to get underway. And so my biggest tip is that I think people should be giving themselves permission to experience pleasure and to check in with their bodies on a regular basis by doing some of these simple things here.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. And I do want to say about the breast massage. I do breast massage every day. Actually, I had a breast massage book that I was giving to a lot of people for free. And I'm actually redoing it right now, adding more stuff in there, and I'm about to put it up.
Good.
So, yeah. It's called the book that I was giving to people is cultivating sexual health through breast massage and ovarian massage. And it's great. And so now I changed the name to Healing, Healing Sexual Energy through breast massage and ovarian massage. And I'm adding a couple things in there. So I'm going to be having that out. So guys, be on the lookout for that. It's just something that's good to do. And I do a breast and ovary massage daily. So I do it after the shower, put oil and I massage. And it's important because those are going to be, activating the different hormones within you, increasing the oxytocin levels so that you feel better, feel happier. So these are things that's important to do, as a woman, as part of your routine, your pleasure routine. So, yes. So I see some people are putting the affirmations. I love my body. Yes, yes, yes. Affirm away. So if you are new, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Guys, girls, don't forget to give a like, share this video with other people. But Tosh, let us know. So the lotion mantra is what you kind of did, right? That's the lotion mantra. I like that. That's beautiful. I'm gonna start doing that because I never even thought about doing that, like getting some lotion, some oil, and just saying I love my arm, I love my breast. I'm gonna start doing that on my breast massage. I love my breast, love my ovaries. That is so good to do. So good to do. So, do you have anything going on? Do you have anything coming up? Any events, any workshops, or anything that you want to share?
So I don't have anything on the books right now. I have to be honest, I have just been taking care of myself. Like I have really been feeling exhausted in the last few weeks with all the things that have been going on, and I have just been unapologetically taking care of me. And so I do have something that'll be coming in November, but unfortunately I don't have any dates. But if people want to connect with me, I'm over on Instagram as Tosh Patterson. I'm on Facebook as Tosh Patterson. My website is Tosh Patterson, so I'm findable. And I will probably be offering my first official in-person retreat next May 2021, and we'll be delving more into being a goddess as a woman, and how do you start to incorporate these pleasure practices into your life. But yeah, so that's it for right now.
Can you do me a favor? Can you type that in? So guys, I'm on my cell phone. Can you type in your full name, website, Instagram, all of those things, type it in. So, normally, if you have been watching my lives consistently, you know that there's always your comments popping up. I try to make sure I'm putting the comments up, but my internet went out and I'm on my cell phone. So for my cell phone, I can't do all of that. So if you click on it, what you type, you should be able to hit show and it'll pop up on the screen.
Okay. I don't know.
So I had Tosh enter as me. So where you type it in the comments?
I just did. I don't know if it's not popping up.
No, it hasn't popped up.
Okay.
Okay, so you typed it in the comments, but if you use your clicker or you click on it, you should hit the plus. You should see a plus show and just hit show.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. We should have did this little tutorial beforehand.
Yeah, it might be user error.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it then.
So it's just TOS.
But I don't even see your comments in the comment section.
Oh.
Did you type it on the comments or in the private?
It won't let me actually. It isn't.
Oh, you typed it in the private chat.
It won't allow me to type in the chat. I don't know why.
Okay, so
but it's Tosh, TOSH Patterson.
Okay, so let's see. I think I could do it here. Oh, I don't know what I did. I think I ended up copying a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, well, never mind. That didn't work. A whole bunch of other stuff came up. I don't know what that is. Oh, I think I just copied all of the comments that were in the section and pasted it. So anyway, does anyone have any questions or comments about permission to pleasure? Any last thoughts, last comments or questions or anything that you're struggling with giving pleasure? Let us know before we sign out. But this has been great. I truly love working and talking with Tosh, and love how things flow.
Yes, it's so good to see you and to be with you.
Yes. So awesome. So please keep in touch. Please follow her at Tosh Patterson. And add her on Facebook. Again, don't forget to hit the likes, subscribe. Also, just to let you guys know, I have a Tantra basic breathwork course starting October 5th. All of that information is on my website, www.prandataprim.com. And you could also see that information if you go through my Instagram, _Tantra. But that's a 4-week journey where we're really going to be deepening our breath work, which we so need it right now. If there ain't no other time in history that we need breath work, it's right now.
Yes.
Like we really do. We really do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be teaching different types of breath work to really get grounded, to cleanse you, to heal you, to balance you, to ground you, to release traumas and blockages. So they're really, really good. They're breath work that from Tantra, from Kundalini Yoga. So it's going to be really good. It's October 4th. So Cynthia says, great discussion, ladies. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Brenda typed out your name, Tosh Patterson. Thank you, Brenda. That's awesome.
User error over here.
So I want to give a shout out to Cynthia and Brenda. Love these ladies. They're always supporting me, coming on and doing a lot, almost everything that I do. So love you ladies. Thank you for your support. And thank you for your help, Brenda, for typing out Tosh Patterson. So I'll see you guys in an hour. I'm going to be doing another live. This time I'm going to be on someone else's channel being interviewed. So I'm going to be in a hot seat. Yes, and we're going to be talking about sexual trauma and healing the feminine energy through because of sexual trauma. So Mo the Goddess on YouTube, and I think it might be also on Facebook. I'm not sure, but anyway, we'll get the replay and I'll share it on my Facebook. So hope to see you there. I just tuned in from NTZ Sit Bay. Oh, so sorry, we're ending, but catch the replay. So the good thing about this being on YouTube is you can see the replays and get all of the information. So thank you guys. Thank you, Tosh, for coming on.
Thank you, Renee. And I just want to say that this is such what you're doing, what you're holding space for. This work and these conversations are so important. And I'm glad that they're, you're helping them come from underground and bringing them to light, because they should have light on them, and there should be no shame about our sexuality, because that's just a part of who we are. So thank you for continuing to hold space for these conversations and for people to show up and be honest about whatever experiences they've had or whatever questions they have, because we need to share our stories with each other and then share the information for healing that we have as well. So thank you for being a leader and a light in this regard.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been my mission, it's just to really release that taboo from talking about sexuality. And I've had so many people write me and tell me, oh my God, that was so healing for me. It was so great to hear that. And I've had people feel safe enough to type in the comments about different things that they've been through, abuses, experiences, and what's helped them. And I've had people express for the first time live here, and they've never talked about things. So it is a healing space. It is something that people are beginning to feel comfortable to share, to start letting go, not hold on to and feel like, because the worst thing that you could do is die with this inside of you, with something so strong inside of you, not having done the work, so it's like we need to do the work. We need to do it now so that we can have pleasure in our lives. We can let go of the trauma, the abuse, the blockages, the repression, the guilt, all of that stuff that's stopping us from living the life that we deserve to live, So life of pleasure in all senses, not just with sexuality, like you said earlier, but living a life of pleasure like we deserve.
Yes.
So
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you everyone for coming on. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, so you can receive notification for my upcoming lives so you don't miss them. And check out the replays. I got tons of great shows on here, so you can really go down a rabbit hole watching my YouTube channel, watching one thing after the other. But go back and watch some of the other videos if you haven't seen them. All right. Good night. God bless. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.